Security, Mr. Ezra Cohen.
Thank you, Jim. The fundamental role of U.S. Special Operations in defense and foreign policy by elevating Special Operations forces to a level on par with military departments as authorized and directed by Congress. As we enact these reforms, we follow the vision of President John F. Kennedy, who predicted the rise of special operations nearly 60 years ago. He foresaw, quote, another type of war, new in its intensity, ancient in its origin, that would require a whole new kind of strategy, a wholly different kind of forces which are too unconventional to be called conventional forces, which are growing in number and importance and significance. President Kennedy gave these remarks at the opening of the nuclear age, when the Pentagon was primarily organized to plan and direct large conventional operations against superpowers, not special operations short of overt declared conflict. The global demands for special operations forces, then and now, has confirmed President Kennedy's foresight. And now, under the leadership of President Trump, we are fully realizing President Kennedy's prescient view of special operations forces. It is fitting that we are again entering an era of great power competition as we gather to affirm the importance of the special operations community. Then as now, I know special operations forces will play a vital role. And by the historic reforms we have enacted today, we will ensure Special Operations Forces has a civilian advocate commensurate to the secretaries of the other military departments. I am honored to serve as your service secretary. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Wow, what a week. That old cliche, if you want a friend in Washington, D.C., get a dog. September 11th attacks in 2001. Only weeks after that dark day in our nation's history, they plunged into danger to bring justice to the terrorists who took thousands of innocent American lives. And they will be the ones who continue to deny safe haven to violent extremists and maintain unrelenting pressure on the road to stability and lasting peace in Afghanistan and Iraq. Today we are gathered before a monument that symbolizes the tremendous cost of these conflicts and our relentless vigilance. In light of the countless sacrifices made by hundreds of thousands of American service members and our enormous progress over nearly 2 decades, we are now bringing these conflicts to their successful and responsible conclusion under the bold leadership of President Trump. Yesterday, the President ordered the downsizing of our force presence in Afghanistan and Iraq to 2,500 troops in each country by 15 January 2021 in a manner that protects our fighting men and women and our hard-earned gains. At the same time, you all know this, should any malign actors underestimate our resolve or attempt to undermine our efforts, we will not hesitate to restore deterrence and defeat any and all threats. As we implement the President's orders, we also recognize that transitions and campaigns are fraught with risk and unexpected challenges and opportunities. That is why I am here today to announce, this is an omen, I'm here today to announce that I have directed the Special Operations civilian leadership to report directly to me instead of through the current bureaucratic channels. This historic step finalizes what Congress has authorized and directed and will put Special Operations Command on par with the military services for the first time. This reform will immediately improve agility to the department and the command and will enable us to streamline information flow, enhance decision-making, and more adaptly and adeptly support our commanders and their superb soldiers, sailors. airmen, and Marines. Change is often tectonic in the Department of Defense. This is by design, and as our history shows, has served the nation very well. Today's reform is directly aligned with all three of my priorities as outlined in my message to the force on Monday. First, bring the current war to an end in a responsible manner that guarantees the security of our citizens. Two, continue implementing the National Defense Strategy with an emphasis on transforming the department for great power competition. And three, accelerate the department's activities to contribute to our whole of government effort to combat transnational threats. I also want to highlight that this particular change has been analyzed, debated, and refined over the course of the past 30 years, since the creation of Special Operations Command and the creation of the Assistant Secretary of Defense for Special Operations Low Intensity Conflict by the Nunn-Cohen Amendment to the Goldwater-Nichols Act of 1987. I have closely studied and been intimately involved in these efforts, but I know future generations will take that one on. Today, as we chart a clear path forward for our special operators, we proudly stand on the shoulders of the giants who came before us. Colonel Aaron Bank, founder of the U.S. Army Special Forces. Major Richard Dick Meadows of the U.S. Army Special Forces is memorialized in the statue nearby. Major General Johnny Allison, founder, U.S. Air Force Special Operations. Captain Phil Bucklew, whose name adorns the Naval Special Warfare Center in Coronado, California. Brigadier General Evans Carlson, we're the Devil Dogs. What an incredible commander. An influential commander of the earliest Marine Raiders. Major General Jack Singlaub, a trailblazer among Special Operations Forces.